In this episode, I'm going to tell you guys about my number one budget brand right now. Right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today I'm going to let you guys in on what my number one budget brand is right now at this time. It may change, I may find another one, but right now this is my number one budget brand. I highly recommend it. So I've got some great information about the brand as well as the story of the brand, how it's made, and we'll get into that here in just a minute. I want to let you know about the live stream that we're going to be having here on Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. I have a very special guest. His name's Jake Lustig. He is the owner and creator of the Añejo Selección brand. And he's got lots of great information about tequila industry. He also produces his own mezcal line. He does Don Armado, and so he'll answer questions about that as well and about mezcal. So you guys make sure you show up for that 6 p.m. Wednesday here on the Tequila Hombre channel. You guys will have a Q&A session too. You guys can ask him questions, get answers to some of your questions that you may have about either Añejo or about tequila and agave or anything like that in general. All right, so make sure you tune in for that 6 p.m. Wednesday right here on the Tequila Hombre channel on YouTube. Hope to see you there for our live stream. All right, so now on to our budget brand, the full reveal. Here we go. Now, when I traveled to Mexico, I was turned on to this brand and I tried it and I brought a bottle back with me and it is delicious. And the great thing about it is that in Mexico, I bought the Añejo for $12 US, which is ridiculously cheap, but it was a really good tequila. So I spent some time trying to find out if it was imported to the US. And at one point, I guess it was, but then it really isn't available anywhere. So I went on a hunt and tracked down the importer, and I talked to them and I told them how much I liked this brand, and they worked out a deal where they're actually having it with a retailer now. And I've set it up where we can actually purchase it now through this retailer, and they do nationwide shipping. So I'll give you the details on how to purchase it after I'm done going through the review and give you information on the brand. So the reveal of the brand. What is the name of the brand? The name of the brand is Sangre Alteña. Beautiful, beautiful tequila. I'll go through the reviews. I have the Blanco. I have the Reposado. And I have the Añejo, and we will do tastings and reviews on all of them so you guys can hear what the flavor profile is like. But before we get into that, let's get into some information about the brand. All right, so Sangre Alteña comes out of NOM 1515, which is located in the Los Altos area of Jalisco, up in the highlands. Now, this distillery actually came about when five brothers from the Franco Cuevas family decided that they wanted to create a distillery. See, they're agaveros. They grow agave. They're agave ranchers. So what they really do is grow really nice agave and really tend to their agave crops so they get really good quality agave up there. And they were in the early 2000s trying to figure out how to market it and had some issues with marketing the agave to try to get it sold and stuff. And they decided, why try to market it and sell it to other people? We have such good quality agave. Why not build a distillery and start making our own? So they built the distillery, and they have like 3 or 4 brands out of there, but they really focus on the agave. So now that, we're in a time where there's agave shortages, and people are having a hard time finding agave, or they're buying young agave to use to make the tequila. These guys are growing their own agave, and they're making sure they're ripe and ready to go before they turn it into tequila. So that really adds to the flavor profile of this tequila. So that's it. It's been, they started the distillery in 2003. So it's been 18 years now in existence. And this brand was only available in Mexico for a long time. And it was recently made available in the US, but it wasn't really marketed to a lot of places. So a lot of people didn't hear about it. Well, now I'm going to tell you about it. And then At the end of the video, I'll tell you how you can purchase this and to try it out. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into how this tequila is made. All right, Sangre Alteña tequila comes out of NOM 1515. The name of the distillery is Destiladora Santa Virginia. It is located in the highlands of Jalisco in Tepotitlan de Morelos, Jalisco. I don't know who the master distiller was. I was trying to track down who it is, but I'm not sure who the master distiller is. They use Weber Blue agave from the highlands, grown on their plantation on their ranch. They cook the agave using stone brick ovens, otherwise known as hornos. They use a roller mill for extracting the sugars from the agave fiber, and they use stainless steel tanks for fermentation. After they're done fermenting, it is then twice distilled using a stainless pot. So far, all these processes look right on track for a good quality tequila. The Reposado is aged 6 months in new oak barrels. So they're not reusing bourbon barrels. They're using new oak barrels. And the Añejo is aged 18 months in new American oak barrels as well. The lowest price for the Blanco, $25.29 here in the U.S. The Repo, also $25.29. And the Añejo, $34.49. All of them really good prices for all the expressions. You can buy all 3 expressions for under $100. Good budget brand. So let's get into the tasting portion so you guys can see what the flavor profile is all about. All right, going up top to the pour cam. Now I'll only do this for the Blanco. I won't do the pour cam for the Repo and Añejo. But going up top to the pour can, of course, as usual, I'm using the Denver and Liley agave glass. I know I've turned a lot of people onto this. Everybody loves it. I love it. And then when people come back to me and say, thanks for referring me, I love that. I don't make any money from the sales of these or anything. It's just a really good glass. So I rant and rave about it. If you're interested in getting one, I'll put a link in the description. Very good glass. I love it for all my agave stuff. All right. So we'll go ahead and pour the Blanco first and see what the Blanco is about. So there we go. Glass has got the Blanco tequila in it. Let's go up top and take a look at what it looks like in the glass. All right, taking a look at this in the glass. It coats the glass very nicely. Have a nice viscous mouthfeel, oily mouthfeel to it. You can see the beautiful legs and tears coming down the glass. Looking at the Blanco itself, crystal clear, no color to it whatsoever. It doesn't see the inside of a barrel. It is 40% alcohol by volume and looks wonderful. All right. So I can already smell the agave and stuff coming from it right now. This smells really good so far. Let's see what we get on the nose. Definitely getting the ripe cooked agave. So getting that cinnamon and beautiful baking spices coming through. Has a nice fruitiness to it, like citrus coming through as well. But that sweet cinnamon, just cinnamon and baking spices just comes in really strong on the nose. It's got a nice floralness to it, a little flowery as well. It smells really good. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Coats the mouth wonderfully. Nice, oily, viscous mouthfeel to it. Getting this beautiful baking spices and cinnamon and stuff coming up. Sweet cinnamon coming in the front from the ripe agave. In the middle, a little fruitiness to it, some citrus. Little hint of star anise coming through. Little bitterness, and then it has some sweetness mixed into it. So it almost has a kind of a chocolate, dark chocolate kind of flavor on the finish. And it finishes with a nice, sweet, cooked agave finish on it. Has a medium finish on it. Medium, lower on the medium side finish. Not bad at all. But for $25.49, this is a beautiful Blanco. Very sippable. Since the agave comes through so strong on this too, this would be really good for making margaritas. definitely would make a fantastic margarita. It's not harsh at all, very easy to sip, very enjoyable. I really honestly think you can't beat it for $25.29. $25.29. Very good Blanco for the price. This is definitely my favorite budget Blanco. Like it better than Altos, like it better than Espolón, like it better than Espinita right now. So the Blanco is good. Let's not waste any more time though. Let's get into see what the Repo is like on the tasting and nose. All right, so that was a really good Blanco for $25.29. Really good. You know, it kind of reminded me of the same kind of flavor profile that you get, a similar profile to the 1079 Blanco that used to be so sought after and wonderful. It has kind of a bitter, dark chocolate-esque kind of flavor on the finish, which I really enjoy. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Reposado now. Again, this was aged 6 months in new American oak barrels. So looking at it in the glass, coats the glass beautifully. Legs and tears coming down. Nice light amber kind of color to it. Looks clean. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose on this. Definitely picking up the cinnamon and baking spices from the ripe cooked agave. And it's got a nice oakiness in there too. Definitely picking up some of the oak, some of the wood, with a hint of vanilla coming through. Caramel is in there as well. A little bit of fruitiness, like citrus, coming through on it as well. Smells good. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. It's same as the Blanco, but it's got more of a vanilla and caramel sweetness coming through. A hint of oak mixed in there. Beautiful Reposado. If you're more of an agave forward Reposado person, this would be great. I definitely would use this for making palomas. I love a good Repo in the paloma, and this would make fantastic palomas. But it's also a really nice sipper. I mean, really, for $25.29 for Reposado, it's very easy to drink. It's got a really nice flavor profile. Yeah, baking spices, cinnamon, little hint of oaky bitterness in there with some vanilla coming through, and a light hint of caramel on the finish, light sweetness. Finish last medium. Has a little hint of bittersweet chocolate stuff coming through on the end as well. Get a little hint of that bitterness, but it's not like a bad bitterness at all. It just kind of balances everything out really nicely, makes the flavors pop. So I really enjoy this. Good Reposado for $25.29. I recommend it. I don't think you can beat it, really. It really highlights the agave, which I love. It has a little bit of that barrel influence in it. Great. Now let's get on to the Añejo and see what that one's all about. All right, so now we're looking at the Añejo. This is 18 months in American oak barrel, new American oak barrel. Looking at it in the glass, coats the glass beautifully, just like the Repo and the Blanco. The legs haven't even started forming up. There they go. Look at that. Looks beautiful. The color on it itself is a little bit of a darker amber than the Repo. Crystal clear, looks great. Now, I've had the Añejo before. That was the one expression I've had before, and I loved it, especially for the price that I purchased for Mexico, $12. At $34 is still a really good price for an Añejo here in the U.S., but you figure you got to tack on the importer's fees on it as well as the retailer's fees. So increases the price, unfortunately, but that's what you have to deal with a 3-tiered liquor system here. All right, so on the nose. Beautiful, beautiful cooked agave and baking spice. The cinnamon and baking spices coming through still. Definitely has a nice fruitiness to it. This is kind of a floral. You're definitely picking up some oak from it, but it's got a nice floralness to it, like a flowery, perfumey. And then you pick up the vanilla, and you're picking up caramel, and a little bit of like chocolate coming through on it as well. It smells really good. Let's see what we get on the flavor profile. Definitely getting beautiful mouthfeel from this, viscous mouthfeel. Baking spices, cooked agave up front, which I love in Añejo. I never like it in Añejo that's over oaked. Little hint of vanilla coming through, some caramel, notes of dark chocolate. It definitely has the citrus fruitiness coming through as well. Definitely picking up hints of oak. And everything is just really well balanced. Nothing's overpowering the other. And it just kind of glides from one to the other. Finishes with a nice sweetness on the tongue. For $34.49. Fantastic Añejo for $34.49. If this was more in the $60 to $70 range, I probably would say, it's average. But for $34.49, you can't beat it for the price. So there you go. Sangre Alteña. How would I rate this on the agave scale? Normally, if this was priced like $40 for the Blanco, $50, $60 for the Repo, $60, $70 for the Añejo, I probably would rate this probably around a 4 agave. But since this is so inexpensive, I'm going to give this one the 5 agave budget brand. It is my go-to budget brand right now, my number one. So I recommend you guys get some. I've set it up so you can purchase it through a retailer. I'm going to put the link to the retailer in the description where you guys can purchase it. You can get all 3 expressions for under $100. If you buy more than 1 bottle, the shipping is $25. So make sure you buy multiple bottles so you can, balance it out. It's $25 for anything over 2 bottles. 2 bottles are up. For 1 bottle, it's $10 shipping. So I wouldn't recommend just buying 1 bottle. And pick up all 3 expressions and try them, or pick up 2 or 3 expressions of the Añejo if that's what you normally go for, or the Repo. I don't think you guys would hate this at all. You'd love it. I know people come back to me and say, thanks for recommending this. It's a great find. I'm glad I was able to set it up where people can purchase this. I'm going to purchase some more for mine because this is just a great sipper, a great mixer, and for the price, you can't beat it. Well, there you go. If you guys have some comments, I'd love to hear what you think about the tasting of this. Post some comments below. Let me know. Have you tried Sangre Alteña before? If so, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you like the information I shared, please click the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you get the notifications of any of the new videos I post, as well as when we go live with our live streams. And if you missed tonight's live stream, Monday night, we did do a live stream here with questions and answers with me. Had lots of great questions, and I really appreciate those that showing up and asking questions. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. And when you can find a good budget brand, you're just in good shape. Until next time, salud.